In a world where science was a men's club, one woman dared to step out of line, challenge everything people thought they knew, and show us the tiny, hidden wonders of the natural world. This is the story of Sibylla Merian, a trailblazing naturalist and artist whose incredible drawings completely changed how we see insects. Picture this: Germany, 1647. Sibylla is born into a family of artists. Her dad was a famous engraver, and her stepdad painted beautiful still lifes. So naturally, she learned to draw and paint. But while everyone else was focused on pretty flowers and fruit, Maria was fascinated by the tiny creatures crawling on them. In an age when insects were dismissed as beasts of the devil, she was completely captivated. She started collecting caterpillars, not as a weird hobby, but as a scientific study. She watched them, fed them, and documented every single stage of their amazing transformations. This was revolutionary. Back then, most people had no clue about metamorphosis. The idea that a creepy crawly caterpillar could turn into a beautiful butterfly was like something out of a fairy tale. Her detailed observations were absolutely groundbreaking. She wasn't just observing, she was drawing. She captured the entire life cycle: the egg on a leaf, the caterpillar munching away, the chrysalis hanging from a stem, and finally, the adult insect taking flight. Her work was a perfect marriage of art and science. In 1679, she decided to share her discoveries with the world. She published her first book, with a title that translates to The Wondrous Transformation of Caterpillars and Their Remarkable Diet of Flowers. And people were amazed. For the very first time, they could see the complete life cycles of insects, drawn with scientific precision and incredible artistic talent. More than that, she showed how each insect depended on specific plants for survival. This was a radical idea that basically laid the foundation for the modern science of ecology. She wasn't just drawing bugs. She was drawing entire ecosystems on a single page. But Sibylla's biggest, boldest move was still ahead of her. At the age of 52, when most women of her time were settling into a quiet life as grandmothers, she packed her bags for a dangerous journey. Her destination? The Dutch colony of Suriname in South America. Just imagine the courage that took. She sold most of her belongings and her collection of specimens to fund the trip. Accompanied only by her younger daughter, Dorothea, she set sail for the New World. They arrived in Suriname and spent 2 years living in the heart of the jungle. This was no vacation. They faced blistering heat, tropical diseases, venomous snakes, and the constant disapproval of the local colonial society, who just couldn't understand why a European woman would be wading through swamps to look at bugs. The colonists were there to run plantations, but Maria was there for science. She was on a mission. She wanted to study and document the exotic insects of the rainforest, creatures that Europeans had never seen before. She ventured deep into the wilderness, often with the help of local indigenous and African guides who shared their knowledge of the local flora and fauna. She collected countless specimens, made meticulous notes on their behavior, and worked tirelessly to create stunning, life-sized watercolor paintings of everything she found. Her work in Suriname was incredibly challenging. The heat and humidity made painting difficult, and preserving specimens was a constant struggle. But she persevered, driven by her insatiable curiosity. She documented tarantulas eating birds, ants marching in armies, and butterflies with wings that shimmered like jewels. She didn't just paint the insects in isolation. She painted them in their natural habitat, interacting with other creatures and plants, telling a complete story of their lives. After 2 years, her health began to fail, and she was forced to return to Europe. But she came back with a treasure trove of sketches, notes, and preserved specimens. In 1705, she published the book that would become her masterpiece, Metamorphosis Insectorum Surinamensium, or The Metamorphosis of the Insects of Suriname. This book was a monumental achievement. It was a huge, lavishly illustrated volume that blew people's minds. The 60 engraved plates were bursting with color and life, revealing the astonishing biodiversity of the rainforest. Her paintings were more than just scientifically accurate. They were works of art. They were dynamic, vibrant, and captured the drama of life and death in the jungle. For many Europeans, this was their first glimpse into the mysterious world of the Amazon. Maria Sibylla Merian's work was a true revelation. She broke the rules of both science and art. She proved that a woman could be a serious scientific researcher and a world-class artist. Her focus on the life cycles and ecological relationships of insects was centuries ahead of its time. She didn't just discover new species. She gave us a whole new way of looking at the natural world as a complex, interconnected web of life. Her legacy is immense. Today, she is celebrated as one of the founders of modern entomology and ecology. Many species of plants and insects are named in her honor. She was a woman who fearlessly followed her passion, who sailed into the unknown, and who, with a brush in her hand and a keen eye for detail, revealed a world of wonder that had been invisible to everyone else. Her story reminds us that curiosity and courage can change the world. Thank you so much for watching. If you were inspired by the story of this incredible woman, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about the hidden heroes of science. See you in the next one.